Hey everybody, welcome to Bomb Squad. I'm Dan Stacy, and you are about to witness my nerdy family and I use silly voices and exploding dice to tell a good story. We're here, and I know, now normally we'd be making fun of David, but we had a late start. Lots of things. Doesn't matter. Join our locals or our Patreon to see the behind the scenes where we'll probably complain about it and laugh. We'll laugh about it.
We will laugh through the tears.
Anyways, more importantly, Adam from the Interplanar Crossroads has joined us tonight once again.
Greetings and salutations, travelers.
He did it again. It's like he does it every time. It's crazy.
And it surprises you every time.
Every time.
Thank you, my friend, for coming all the way up here.
I couldn't let it finish online. It had to be done in person.
You're very kind. After this, tomorrow night, assuming I can get the studio set up, we will be doing a special movie night with Adam and his kids over here, and hopefully a lot of people will be showing up in studio. We will be live streaming that. Of course, that'll be up long before this comes up. But card above, I think those two gentlemen over there, Zach and Adam. I don't remember now. No, it might be Austin and David, actually.
Oh, wow. It's all over the place.
Wild,
Get the
crazy.
fly swipe.
Check that out to see what movie night is like, and it's going to be a really special one. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, you can get access to that by becoming a Locals or a Patreon supporter. We do movie nights once a month.
And that's a rock fact.
Hey! I forgot about that.
See, that's why it's going to be so fun to watch it with y'all, because me and my kids do it every year.
Yeah.
So we've watched like 4 or 5 times now, and it's like we're going to be watching y'all more than we're watching.
Oh my gosh. And you know, Michelle and I promised we didn't talk about it the whole year. Wait, what? We watched the same movie for Halloween now. We're copying Adam and going to watch it every year. But we don't talk about it during the year. So it's as brand new an experience every time as it can be. Anyways. This might actually be true. Let's dive into the rockiest episode of Bomb Squad.
Oh, no.
We dive back in. Here we go. Might be a little
Doing side stroke. Are you? Good job.
It's not how you do side stroke, but
Shout out Tabletop Audio. Check that out. It is some great stuff. Really easy to use also, which is amazing. Now, where we left off, I'm going to turn that down. Sorry, just a little bit more. Where we left off, you guys had arrived where the door into the Sea of Stars is, that you need to find the other half of the crystal shard, or at least what you can assume is a crystal shard, from the creature that you've been tracking.
What do you mean? What you assume is a crystal shard?
I mean, that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't know what the other half looks like, in fairness. I would say the shard doesn't... It looks like it was broken off of some large gem structure. I wouldn't say that it looks like it is a symmetrical shape that could be completed. That's visually something you could say. As you guys contemplate that, we had a beautiful scene with Kari and Ilyad on top of the... yes, there was a beautiful night sky. Beautiful. You held her face and
this is true.
Talked to her.
And told her, stop talking to him.
and she immediately, upon after credits roll, the scene after credits roll, she talked to him.
Yeah. Took it just like a gnome would.
Don't talk to him until right now. Okay.
I'm not talking to him right now. I'm talking to you. Okay, anyways. So we're going to basically jump to the new moon, because it was a few days away. You guys were waiting for the new moon. I might switch this up. I'm not happy with it. As we fade the music out for something
Is there an old
different.
moon?
Always.
That's when it gets too fat, gets old and fat. So it has to start working out again.
Right.
And then it gets its new moon
Dadbod
look.
moon.
Yeah, it gets the Dadbod moon.
The cycle is real.
There's a little extra. It just spins it just a little bit faster because the extra weight just on one side of it.
There we go.
I like that.
So we're gonna start. I think we'll do some RP to get in the zone. But what you guys are doing, the RP will cover. We'll cover the few days leading up to the new moon, and we'll have the Tormentor, or maybe you guys trying to get information from the Tormentor. But we're gonna lead up to a challenge event to see how well you can successfully enter into the Sea of Stars. So, do you want to start, Adam, or do you have any thoughts on?
But do you want me to start explaining how to get through the gateway, or how we'll get through the gateway?
Yeah, or I'll leave it up to you guys as a group, but basically
Speak,
having
friend,
the
and
campfire. What's that?
Speak, friend, and enter.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Friend enter. Friend enter? No, it didn't work.
Let's do basically a campfire sort of scene of entering in, or I think it's better if we leave it to the rest of the party to pry information from the Tormentor, or
For scenic purposes, it is the full moon now, the new moon.
we're covering. This is just before it.
Right,
we're leading up
just
to it. We'll
before.
say, let's say it's during the day.
Okay.
And you guys know the new moon, it will officially be new moon this night, because you arrived just a few days before the new moon to the location you were looking for. You do have the shard from the creature that you've ran into, or it ran into you. And now you know that you have to find the other half through the doorway that is here, somewhere in this mesa. Again, you're in the wastes, which is this desert area in the continent opposite from where most of the regular BombSquad campaign is. And in this desert, you came upon what looked from far away like a mesa, but you came and found that it was actually made of sandstone bricks, just this giant mesa. It's almost like a wall in the middle of the desert. And somewhere in here, the doorway opens when the new moon arrives.
I think during this time, the day, night, doesn't really matter. The Tormentor doesn't always stay around. He kind of flies around a bit, and he flies off, but it's kind of like when you see those kites on a string that are moving around in the wind. He gets real far, gets quite a ways away, but then it's like he gets like one of those, and he kind of spins around and goes around from wherever his anchor seems to be,
Cool.
as far as what he's doing and waiting on.
That's really good. Let's go around the table. What would, for these like 2 or 3 days, do you want to go next, Sec, or flip around? Give a second. What's your Jeberg doing?
He's contemplating what he just saw, what they just went through with the creature, with the crystal. He's feeling very uncertain about what to expect. He doesn't like being taken unawares. He doesn't like surprises. Never has. That hasn't changed. A lot of things in his life has changed, but not liking surprises is not one of them. He's found a lot of peace in his life in the past year, just being able to break off and have this, and this is the exact opposite of that. Just it's building apprehension for him. But from the outside, it's very calm, cool, collected. He's meditating a lot, thinking about that kinds of things. But very much asking the Jinn a lot of questions. What to expect? Where are we going? What's the other half look like? What are we doing? We need, like, as soon as we get in, do you know where you're taking us? You know, that he's not pulling punches with the questions. Like, he wants to know that this is not, we're going into death. For Jeberg specifically, we're going into death.
Yep.
This is not.
Yeah.
It's not an
Arkiro
easy
is
thing.
the only one that he knows that's ever done that and come back.
Right.
And he's something mythological.
Right.
Basically.
And he doesn't have that.
Yep.
He doesn't have that resource. And so the apprehension is there, definitely on the inside. The amount of questions just continuing to pour out and spill out. And there's not enough answers for him. You know? So he's in that.
Nice. I think we'll come in, maybe pick up the scene with you asking some questions.
Yeah.
But
sure.
we'll hear from Ilyad.
Yeah, Ilyad's just. I mean, I just think of like a soldier on the edge of battle. But in the sense that it's just anxiety, it's just uneasiness. I guess somewhat similar to what you were just saying, but it's more just the unease of he knows that, like, it's almost as though at any moment something could go terribly wrong. Also a little uneasy about Kari and the unusual influences there. But with that, I think still, even for his young age, still trying to at least appear, probably not as stoic as Jeberg is doing, but he's at least
At ease.
at ease. Is that what I said? Peace. Okay. All right, peace.
You guys should do it in character voices.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Get into it.
That's like the curly thing.
Yeah.
So Ilyad is.
Would you stop talking in the third person? I hate it.
He's got his journal out. Shh.
Forgot about
hated
that.
Ilyad's writing down. Ilyad. How do you feel? I feel anxious, wearisome. Stop over listening.
Jeberg, it shows a lot of strength of introspection when someone's willing to write their journal aloud.
I didn't know she was listening to.
As Kari writes her journal quietly to herself.
Yes. Copying notes. Okay. But
May Marusha take them quickly.
I don't think I'm quite as stoic and at ease.
I am not stoic.
Also humble.
Well, somewhat. All right.
He's trying to have therapy in his journal, and they're all just like back and forth correcting him in his. He's auto writing in his head, so it's like it's like, and it's all getting copied down.
Yes.
That's the only way. Like, looking back through history, it's the only way that anything got recorded.
Yes. Yes. Well, with all that said, I'll try again in a few minutes. And I still feel eyes. Ilyad still feels eyes on him.
He might always.
What's Kari doing?
Well, Kari's like in touch with Ilyad's being like pensive about going in, and trying to appear strong but not too stoic, which is really just what kind of nice. So, but she's also keenly aware that like he's all wrapped up with this, and she's wants to ease that and wants to like just take his minds off things and keep things pleasant. So she's doing a little cooking, manages to scrounge up just enough for pie and other like little humble dishes and things like that. So she's going to be doing some of those housekeeping kind of chores and such. She's also minding a little bit her appearance, just making sure that the The beret sits right and the feathers curled right around her ear, just in case Ilyad has a moment to notice. But otherwise is kind of staying in tune with his feelings and where he's at, and being a listening ear and not overly prodding, but still asking him, because she wants to hear where he's at. But she's also keeping an ear open for the djinn, and so trying to still crank through the puzzle of what has to happen in order to work out the mission in the way that's going to make Ilyad happy.
Nice.
Physically, could I ask how we all are positioned?
Seated.
What's that?
It's seated.
Seated. I mean, if we're around a campfire, I'm envisioning there's this separation between us and the djinn.
The djinn's.
Oh, wait, no, you
he's
said
not,
you were. That's right.
If he's either flying around or invisible, sometimes he materializes. He won't eat. He doesn't need to eat or drink or anything like that, so he doesn't worry about being there for meals. But every once in a while, I would think that that Ilyad would catch him. He fades out so quickly, but every once in a while, it's almost like a hand or something adjusts the feather back to the way she wants it and isn't there. And perhaps when he's doing his journal, there's a breeze or a whisper right behind, especially when you're away trying to talk by yourself.
Right.
And maybe Jeberg gets those winds that blow the wrong way every once in a while he's on watch.
So the night is approaching when the door will open. How are you guys going to prepare? And you can talk to each other if you want to. Like, we can...
So I can go. I think through the days you said.
Yep.
That went on.
Yeah, it was probably like 3 days.
Of course, dragon. It will be a large door, a portal. It will be open. It will be something that can be journeyed through by a creature of great size, if necessary.
I'm not concerned at this moment about getting through the door. I am worried. I am curious about what is on the other side.
Death? For you?
You have been there before?
Yes. I was there before she took control of it.
Then what can we expect when we go through?
Water.
Water.
Emptiness. Stars that stretch on forever. Huge, lumbering creatures that she calls stewards.
Are we in danger from these?
Oh,
stewards?
most definitely.
Will we need to protect ourselves from them, and can we even fight them? Where are we going when we get there?
Well, not far from where you enter. It had to be close for 𝒵𝒂𝒃. He's not supposed to be there either, so it had to be very close to an exit and entrance.
And what is it? He holds up the shard. How is it connected to this? What does it look just like this? Does this connect to it? What are we looking for?
Well, you will know it when you see it.
That is not an answer.
That will respond to it.
Respond how?
I haven't brought it in there. I don't know.
Throws it to you.
Should we bring a raft?
What?
It's a somewhat serious question.
I think you will be able to walk on the seas.
All right.
If we are careful. if you do not submit, if you do not let the pull, the draw of the sea, of death, call you too tightly, call you too loudly.
Now, when you say walk, do you mean like things work differently there, and we would just be able to walk, or are you saying that just a normal mode of transportation, like the water isn't really deep?
Well, the water is as deep as the ages. But you pose an interesting little experiment, gnome. I am not sure what will happen with you.
Well, that's exciting. Isn't that exciting?
No.
What if things are different? What if we're different when we're in there?
I wouldn't get too excited. So how does one proceed once we get in there?
You do not move in the same way that you do here. You walk, but with your mind. You move, but only because your self tells your feet to. And you reach where you're going when you believe you have. In most cases, not in this case. I know where he tore it from. And this is close, or as close as we are going to get in any kind of aspect of the void and vastness of it.
I think it's terrifically exciting.
I don't like it, but I don't think we have another answer. Well, should we get some sleep? Kari,
Yes?
should we... Maybe I shouldn't ask her that question.
Yes?
It is time
yes.
to rest.
Thank you. That's good pie.
It's good pie.
Beautiful.
All right.
I think during these days that would go on, if Kari was truly interested as she had said she was.
Kari's gonna try to stand. There's something just, it's so irresistible, the thought of being able to walk. I think that instead of just sliding herself out of the chair, she's gonna actually try.
Just right now?
Yes, just because the magic is on the other side of, it's right there. What if?
Now, here's the thing. With gnomes, we've talked about it, so Kari chose that.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
so I don't know if
doesn't
I
mean
can...
the excitement can't be there, though.
No, yeah, I just don't know if I can answer anything. It might be a player answer sort of thing.
Grabbing the die.
We're not there yet. So
Right. Yeah, I
It's how gnomes work.
know.
It's like...
so it's like the break the rules race. That's what that is. The gnome race.
Break the rules.
He said, you go when your mind
Says you're there.
says you're there. So logic, perception, will. Is this a? I feel like it's like a presence on yourself. She's willing herself to do it. So close. Those are 7s on the 8s.
Oh, I was wondering what the face was.
I know.
29 on just pushing off and just believing for a moment her legs can work.
Are we close to the door?
You guys are close. I think, though, that would be...
And she just pushes up and closes
Right.
her eyes and just
It's
sees
got to be a
herself
heroic
standing.
level. That's like 1 point away from heroic level.
Can I? No, wait. I want to roll against it.
You want to roll against
I want
it?
to roll against it.
Is Jeberg? In
Yeah.
what way?
He's seeing the influence. And so he's going to take his staff and he's going to push down back right into the seat.
So her eyes are closed. She's not seeing it, She's just
Sure.
She's just lifting herself
He
up
knows
with her hands.
gnomes.
And
He knows how they work. This is not the time.
I don't know if you even need to roll for it. I'd say that's what he does.
yeah, you're probably just strictly stronger in this case and can just push her back down.
And it would be, I mean, the strength of the gnome, and I would totally believe this, the strength of the gnome and the strength of that will, especially that roll, right? And her,
Right.
what she truly believes, it would take his might
It's also
to force her down.
there's also the question of if she's close enough to the door, she could enter without, if her will is strong enough.
Right. If that's the desire.
But her will isn't, and correct me if I'm wrong, her will has nothing to do with going inside.
No, but she's envisioning herself there. It's not about the will to want to go inside. It's the will of it, of being able to be
Walk.
different.
Right, but
To
is it the
walk.
will to walk? Is it the desire to walk? Or is it the desire to be in there and
It's not the
walk?
desire to be in there. It's the desire to walk.
Right, and that's the difference. That's why I would say I would totally believe it. If your desire was to be in there to walk, then yes, she could probably be pulled in. But if it's just the desire to walk, again, as
Yeah,
it
but
work,
she
it's just
is
wanting to stand
picturing herself
up.
standing in there though.
Right.
That is where she sees it because that's where she believes she's able to. So I'll let.
Well, I'm curious with Jeberg. I don't want to spend this. I think this is important though. Would if Jeberg's desire to stop it is the fear of her going in there by herself,
No,
or so? What's he thinking? He just doesn't want change, or
it is the words. It is the words that the djinn spoke,
and not trusting that.
and not trusting it or wanting her to believe in it so much that she is willing to change who she is because of it.
Okay.
And part of this, I think, in a deep down way, is the burn that he felt because of the faith, right? And so he knows that things are going to happen, and that changes will happen, but let them happen when they are supposed to, right? And that's not the change that she belongs to.
Okay.
That's his change. That's the djinn's change.
right.
hers.
Right. Yeah. That's interesting.
Because it's his whispers, it's his words.
Yeah.
And up to this point, he has never heard her talk about it,
No.
Right.
and that's he's aware of that because she's found ways to overcome her disability, and it hasn't been a disability; it's been an ability, especially based on the chair that she's been able to create from it. Right? He's seen
Right.
that in action. Like, that's impressive. That's powerful. So.
Okay. Cool. I don't know if I say just roleplay that. I say that Jeberg does push her back,
Okay.
unless you feel differently, and you want him to roll to see what would happen.
No, I think again it's she isn't operating on might, and so there might be some force of will that resists that, but your actual physical strength is going to put her back in the chair.
Yeah. It might have been different if she had gotten like 30 or higher, but because
Sure.
she didn't hit that mark of the heroic, I mean, that's like, it was almost there.
Yeah. Well, and it would work.
I did
Like,
see the djinn
with
given a legend point. I
point.
saw that.
Well, see, now anytime I pick up a legend point,
Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't be doing whatever he thinks we should be doing. So, okay, that's beautiful.
I think with being put down, Kari's not quite sure what to make of it because it was a very intrapersonal moment there. So I think she's gonna probably just maybe glance over at Ilyad, kind of look down and slide herself down and start prepping just her bedroll. Not shutting Jeberg off, but just it felt like interrupting something a little bit. Actually, we should just say that. It was just she's not going to say it. Just she'll look up at you. Just
I think Jeberg would, as you are trying to rise, I think he'd put his hand on your shoulder, and it would be this very gentle pull back, push
Okay.
back down. but there's a very clear, distinct. He's not looking at her. He's looking at the djinn, and there's this glow of the eye, like the "I know what you're doing" type thing. I think I know what you're doing type thing, like obviously, right? And it's the comeback, and then there's just a very gentle. Be still, little one. Not yet.
Yeah, we're gonna get some rest.
It is a good idea.
And I'm gonna assume Ilyad did not see this. I rolled a perception. I got a 3. So
Beautiful.
I used that
Okay.
as my
He's
indicator.
absorbed
for you.
in the minutes the pie that was.
Yeah, he was
made or
licking his
something.
fingers and tucking himself in, and
Yberic is gonna walk over to him. He's gonna slap whatever is the rest out of his hand.
It's gonna leave a little stain.
It's just this little.
yes. wait.
You need to keep an eye on that one.
Both eyes, as often as I can spare. Sorry.
Okay. Somebody got him. All right, reference ignored.
Mic drop. Boom.
It's the pride in which he said
Thinking it's
I
so
did a
sly.
Yberic stops for a moment. And, you do know which one I'm talking about, don't you?
The girl, right? I mean, no, just kidding.
All right.
No, yes, I know. It's
Kari said, the girl, right?
It's like her ears are just super tuned to whatever
yes, oh
Ilyad
my
says.
gosh.
no, I am watching, and watching.
Ilyad will take the first watch.
Yes, I will. As he walks around and swipes another slice of pie.
I think actually Kari would probably have an extra one as you're walking by. Just like,
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Awesome, guys. Wow, I didn't expect that intensity there. That's great.
So
That's awesome.
over those different portions of days, if
Yes.
Kari had expressed interest during her watches or at some time when she's not with anybody else, he would have expounded to her a way and explained, should the time come and should your desire be great for him and the moment be there, this is what you say. They have not wanted to release it, to release the bond, because they are afraid of what might happen. But I am confident that should anything happen, and you say that, in a time of need, mind you, do not say it before, then you will be able to loose part of the chain. You reckon I know this is wrong?
I do.
But it fits, right?
Seems a little melodramatic.
Well, I'm not exactly the one that always makes everything up. I'm just the cursed one.
Granted, not a lot of artistic liberty, I suppose, but it's my pain, not his, right?
The pain is borne by whoever is the vessel. You release the chain by saying this, and then the djinn may relieve and find a different vessel.
Beautiful. All right. I think we come to the night of
New moon.
the new moon. A dark night. Clouds are even rolling in. There's barely a star that can be seen right now. And as The sun finally sets. I like this image of you guys all standing there at the wall, and the sun is just dipping below the horizon, and as it goes to fully dark, very close to fully dark, you're just feeling the heat of the sand and the colder night air coming in. You begin to hear the sound of water rippling.
I think anybody who's actually watching the Jinn at the moment, the true form of him is slightly more visible.
With the eyes?
It still looks kind of fuzzy, but you can tell it's like fitting over 𝒂𝒏𝒄𝒂. And when it starts to, before y'all even hear the sound of water, he becomes still and starts watching towards the door.
The wall of this built mesa where the Jinn is looking starts to ripple slightly, and then you start seeing as if there's something behind it underneath. Leaking water starts to lap out. If you touch it, it's ice cold, but as you touch it, you feel this draw to want to go deeper in. And you look up at the mesa and you feel like you can almost see through it, like it's now just a veil, some kind of thin, wisping fabric with the slight design of sandstone. And beyond it, you can see dark water reflecting stars. How do you guys want to enter?
Who's the one on watch now?
No one's on watch.
Everyone's
we're all
awake
We're
at
all
this
awake
point.
now.
Yeah, you
Okay.
guys knew as soon as it gets
Okay.
dark, it was time.
Jeberg would be in the back, taking up the rear. I would imagine Jin and Ilyad would be up pretty close.
Right. I feel like Ilyad's looking at him and he's just like, by the dragon, that is utterly bizarre. Are we ready?
Ready as ever, Sahib.
Jeberg?
Let's get this over with.
Buckled, strap, right? Ready? I mean,
Follow me. That was a little Americanized right there.
Ilyad always gets a take two.
This is weird. Like everyone's like,
What
was that?
What was that? Follow me. We'll go with it.
That's good.
A little better.
All right. Ilyad. Does the Jinn follow Ilyad? Or
He
does he have something else in mind?
knows about where his limit is, and he I don't think he's not wanting to go in. It's more of he's letting them go in and reminding them, don't speak too loudly, don't think too loudly. Keep your thoughts strong, and you will walk on the waters. Do not submit to the pool of death. Or, well, it's quite self-explanatory. And so he'd probably take up the rear, knowing Jeberg would want to take
you're
it.
in the very back then. Okay.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
staying
Kari's
there.
gonna be willing right up, maybe just behind, but next to Ilyad, and just like, aren't you excited?
I would not call it excitement. Is it like pitch black? Or is this dark now?
It's very dark where you guys are because it's a
Okay.
clouded sky with a new moon, which stands in contrast to through this veil that you can see clearly water slowly rippling with stars reflected on the water.
And it acts like water when we start walking through it.
Yeah, as you step close
Okay.
to the wall, it's spilling out of the wall, and you step into it. As soon as your feet, even as soon as Kari's wheels touch, there's a shiver that goes through. Anything that touches is cold, and
I
it
think
makes you
she'll-
want to go deeper.
She'll grab
chill
Ilyad's
now.
arm
Okay.
and kind of let the rev gyros like just kind of like pull it that last foot through
Yeah.
that veil.
You almost feel, both of you guys almost feel like there's a sheet going across your face as if you're passing through something. And it feels, as it rubs, it's almost like exfoliating scrub or something. It feels like something's getting peeled off. As if, and it's really nice. There's almost kind of like when you scrub your face with something sharp, it hurts for a little bit, and then it feels like, oh, finally, that's off. And you pass in. Okay, everybody, challenge event. Everyone except the Jinn has to roll fortitude. Ilyad, you have advantage. Jinn, I think it's going to start with a will roll.
But he's got movement also to
Okay.
pass through things like that.
That's very
So-
fair. Sure, you could roll your movement to start, and then we'll see how that goes.
Advantage 2. So I got 2 of them.
One advantage.
One
So,
advantage. But I
yeah,
have 2
so
die.
rolling 2, take the highest.
23.
23, nice girl.
Right, 21.
21, okay.
10, 13.
13, interesting. Okay.
Now, do I do a D20 too?
Oh, yeah, always.
Oh, okay.
Wait, so drop
That
the
was-
lowest of those two.
Drop the lowest.
And then add your D20 to
Okay.
the other one.
Ah!
Doesn't count on the floor.
21.
Ooh, nice. Okay, much better.
I know when I heard this, I was like, what?
I mean, 13's always possible.
It's possible. Oh.
17.
Okay, all right.
I figure it's when he goes through, it's not his flesh. So there's this kind of almost like the veil might tug against that and want to, like a strainer trying to filter something out. And he doesn't tear through, but maybe there's a weakening in that spot that he goes through. And you can tell it's harder for him to shed that than, or to pull that through rather than y'all.
Very nice.
Kind of like with like Cloudy, A Chance of Meatballs, where he like walks through the jello.
To the jello.
Just darkering.
Just
grinding,
like
yeah.
death lights. Okay,
Purple jello.
Purple jello.
There it is. Oh, that's great. All right.
Purple jello's evil.
Yeah.
All the stuff is evil that's purple, you know? It's like don't look at my logo stuff, okay?
Everybody roll me your will, please. As you enter into death. Ooh.
I'm still at advantage.
Yes, you are.
Why?
Because you are a paladin of the Falcon.
I knew that.
22.
Yeah.
22.
We all know
Nice.
that.
Okay.
19. Okay.
Oh, you're right.
Though I imagine he feels pretty at home here.
Yes. Yeah.
11. Okay.
Yeah, the Jinn is more against
20.
the other will within
Looking
this
for him.
reign.
Good job.
Yeah.
20.
Came back with an explodey,
Got
did
2
you?
explodies.
Oh, very good. And
20.
Jeberg, 20. Okay. Nice, guys.
Strong-willed, like my daughter.
Don't
right.
say that to
Ilyad
God.
has a daughter?
Oh no, that's it. Everybody's sinking.
She just immediately
You see the ghost of Kari fall out of her body and float down to the final ring.
But it's like
Shepherd like, come here, Kari. Sorry, I got you.
Just looks at Ilyad, doesn't say anything, just shakes his head.
Head.
He's
That one looks like Aurora.
Oh, that's great. Okay. Last, I have a question for you all. As you enter into death, you can feel not only the pull, there's also something that is looking and searching. It's not an evil sort of sense. You just feel that there is someone out there looking for you. Do you attempt to hide from that gaze? This will be the last roll of the challenge event.
The great eye is
That's it?
Yes.
I just know that someone's looking. I don't have any feelings associated with it.
It's not evil. No, you don't feel like an evil sense, but it's clearly it's a searching and seeking.
For me.
Yes. Each of you feel it individually for you.
Okay, I need to know how I feel first before I figure out what I'm going to do.
Fair enough.
Kari wants to be seen. She wants to be seen so much. It's not.
Cool. I love that.
I don't.
I'm going to call that a flaw unless you want to roll for something. Call that sort of her flaw.
Naivety.
Yeah. So legend point.
She's so focused on.
I need legend points
on-
to throw to you guys.
That's we got some spares here.
He's got a bunch.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
you're
more
saying
than
you're saying flaw, but by that you're not.
Think fast.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, no, he went away.
Why are we throwing all the legend?
I want some to throw to you guys. I caught that one.
Yay! Legend
That was
point.
Some sound
it's
effects in
immediately
there.
to 𝒂𝒏💏. Flaw. Beautiful. Thanks, boys.
But by you saying flaw, you're not
she's
saying
choosing
that
to fail.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
𝒂💏 is choosing for Kari to fail.
right.
And
But
that
you're
gets
not
it.
saying that to indicate that we don't want to be seen.
Oh no! She as her flaw.
No.
She's not
Right,
even attempting.
right. Okay,
She's
I
making
gotcha.
no decision. She's just letting it happen.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
she's-
Okay. This is me looking for my direct path.
Yes.
Tell me where to go. All right.
Okay.
Do you know yet? Or no?
I'm
𒂂💏 has something.
Just once
Okay.
you're ready to describe it, I mean I'm ready.
Okay.
So I rolled a nat 1.
Oh.
Okay.
So I have a 7 total.
What are we rolling?
to avoid being seen.
But
If you're choosing to avoid being seen, are you choosing to avoid?
so
That's the
we
question.
pick which thing we're gonna roll.
Yeah, throw me out an attribute. Like Ilyad could use his influence to hide. This one would be more up to the players on how you're trying to
Oh,
hide
I
yourself.
see. Okay.
Okay, so I think what I'll do with that is I think his natural inclination, because of his warrior spirit and his warrior self, his natural inclination would be to not be seen, to be focused, to stay on task, stay on target, all that kind of stuff. However, I think with the Nat 1, I think being in an unusual place such as this, all of a sudden feeling the influence of something much larger and grander than himself reminds him of the dragon. And so the desire at this point, which you haven't felt for a long time, I think the desire all of a sudden is to be felt and to be loved by something that is greater than him. And so he, I think, is going to want to look for whatever is calling to him. For the sheer sake of he's still technically searching for what he's looking like for that next thing. Is this going to replace his past faith?
Right.
Right? Is this what he's actually here for? And I think he's going to play into that. I think just because all of a sudden the newness, all of a sudden the overwhelming, unusual atmosphere that's there, I think he's going to play into that aspect.
Very cool.
So-
Okay.
So he's going to go look for it.
You're not even going to attempt to hide or...
Nah.
Yeah.
I rolled so low. I think I'm...
Was that a roll to attempt to hide or to figure out what he was feeling?
To figure out what he's feeling.
Okay.
And so I think at this point he heard the voice and felt the vulnerability of something greater than himself, and he is so low. Mm-hmm. And he hadn't felt that sense being a part of the dragon faith. Mm-hmm. And so there's that desire to do it again, right?
Yep.
to be a part of something. And so he's been training and just being by himself for a year. All of a sudden it shows up and it's like, whoa. That's what it feels like again. It almost becomes nostalgic, and he want in that moment he wants that feeling. Oh, thanks.
It means it's a failure.
Yep. No,
Perfect.
I get that.
I love it. Ilyad, what are you doing?
Well, I wasn't sure at first, but now hearing what everyone else is saying, I'm inclined that Ilyad's going to not want to be seen. Almost more in a sense of protection of the group.
Sure.
Not that he would necessarily be able to do anything about it, but so I think I mean I like what you said. I liked rolling influence.
Yep. Sure.
Which I should have already done. Oh, that's not good. Can we drop the lowest if it's a D20?
Well, you don't get to roll that one.
Yeah. I mean, you can throw it out if you want.
It's not terrible, I guess. 25.
Okay. Nice. That's a success.
I think that the Jinn, sensing what's happening and going on here, he would be like, "You are all too loud." And in probably, maybe not Kari, but probably Jeberg would actually hear him a little bit of at least apprehension, if not outright fear, come into his voice, and he wants to drop the other boons he has on himself and use superior concentration to actually put concealment on both of them.
Very cool.
To like, "You're too loud. You are too loud. Be quiet. Calm your minds. Do not bring your insecurities into the sea."
And with that, Kari like grasps Ilyad's arm like really sharply with startle and amazement. Just, my God, it's full of stars.
What?
Well done. That actually gave me chills. All right. Roll it up for me, Jen.
That would be, I guess, alteration then.
Yeah.
So his plan is to take our failures and make them into successes by his failure.
Well, I'm dropping concealment on
You.
I'm not dropping concealment on me, but I'm dropping the other boons I maintain because I have superior concentration 3.
Yep.
So I can maintain 3 boons.
Technically 4 total.
Yep. 4 total. But I can maintain those boons without having to roll anything. He's like, "You were being stupid. You're going to get us caught. Secret. It was a secret." Type of thing.
Yep.
So he's trying to turn your failures into a success through the use of that. Yeah.
Sure.
I love that with his bad roll to start to entering. He's already on edge. That's awesome.
Ooh, an explosion on a D10.
Hey.
An 18.
Whoa.
Nice.
And a 4. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then 32.
Woo!
35.
Jen does not want to be seen.
No.
So does that means all of a sudden we're concealed?
Well, this is a challenge event, so it's successes and failures.
Oh, okay.
But yes, he is actively trying to suppress. He's almost putting like this aura around of suppressing your thoughts and trying to conceal it from being seen.
I imagine when he does that, he can't maintain. We'll say he drops insubstantial, which lets him fly. So he gets down there, and he's shorter than Ilyad, and he's got both his hands on y'all to put the concealment on. And the sea doesn't act like water for him; it acts almost like a muck that he's got to wade through or pull his legs out of.
That's really cool.
That's neat. Okay.
All right, we'll do a description. So as you guys enter, the first words you hear, the Jinn is whispering to you guys, being, "You're too loud, don't bring your insecurities in." That is happening as you're passing through this veil, as It's almost as if it's in front of your eyes and you're feeling that skin peeling sensation. And then as you pass through and you're in, that's when Kari says it's full of stars. And literally as you look out, the only way you can tell sky from water is that there are ripples where you walk. This sky, this perfectly clear night sky is reflected in this water below, and there's stars everywhere. And on the edge of your hearing, you can begin to hear a song, as if a choir is singing. It's bitter cold, but it's the type of cold that you don't flinch from. It's almost as if you want it to embrace you further. And the water is lapping. In the sky, far, far, you almost get this sense that it's far, far to the center. You don't know why, but it would be if you were on land, it was far to the horizon. But you know it's the center. There is this bright white light. Not quite like a sun. It's almost like when the moon is full and reflecting the light just brightly and lighting up this whole area. And that's mostly what you can see by. But it's far away. And you catch glimpses of these giant humanoid shapes slowly moving through the water. And you can only catch them because they blot out the stars in the sky and the water ripples around them. As you are all taking in the scene, and I should say too, that sense of someone looking for you, I think Kari, especially you, as you're looking across, you feel like it's the light, that moon, that bright white light at the center is what's looking, gazing out across this space. Ilyad, since you're more focused on task, looking forward, you see another dark shape, massive, 20 feet tall maybe, of this animal sort of shadow sitting, and you catch it move slightly, and you hear the sounds of chains pulling. Jeberg, as you're looking around, you see one of the humanoid shapes that walks in the water turn towards all of you, starting to walk forward. And that's when there's like this heavy, almost like a weighted blanket feels set on you, and that's the concealment from the Djinn. And Kari, you'll feel it as well, as the Djinn hides you all. And the shepherd's looking around. It keeps walking towards you guys, but you can tell it's looking around for you. Who's holding the shard?
Well, I think I had it last,
Ilyad is holding the shard. Okay. The creature that is chained or has chains on it, all of a sudden, two glowing greenish eyes open and look right at Ilyad. And this has been another fantastical episode of BombSquad, an Avenue Studios production. Do give us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to follow the adventure. You can further support us and become a part, let me turn up the music,
of the ever-growing forest.
Of the ever-growing forest known as Avenue Studios. By joining our locals or Patreon community. Doing so will not only help us to continue to create high-quality content, but you will also gain access to our exclusive Discord where you can watch movies with us, play games, chat, so much more. Of course, check out the link for the movie night live stream if you want to know what our movie nights are kind of like, since we have Adam from the Interplanar Crossroads joining us. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, Wednesday nights, we now live stream Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. So we're either playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition and lots of other stuff that we're doing. Some games with Adam and Great Mustache and much more. And as a patron or local subscriber, you can become a part of that as well. And most importantly, how can they support you, good sir?
Well, you can support the Interplanar Crossroads by, of course, going on YouTube or Rumble and supporting us there, or BitChute. Or you can financially help us by going to Patreon, Subscribestar, or Locals. All three of those are viable options. Or you can just contact me directly. So there are ways to do that. And even supporting just once gets you access to the Discord, where we share PDF content and other things that we've made for y'all. We've made chicken races so far.
Yes.
Kind of like a fun chicken race thing. We
was a lot
also
of fun.
shared the Fallout Fort Smith map for people that wanted to play in Fallout Fort Smith themselves. So there you go.
Beautiful. Awesome. Cool. Don't forget to check the links in our description below for the sound, music, and ambience that we use. And thank you so much for joining the adventure. We will see you next time. All right, bye.
Ciao.
Bye.